He was a good man. He was a decent man. I think his tragedy is, in a sense, that he was too decent for the country he was leading and trying to lead in the direction of overall decency. Now we are in a new Cold War. He did more than anybody else to end the old Cold War. Of course, he had help from people like American President Reagan, British Prime Minister Thatcher, French President Mitterrand, German Chancellor Kohl. But without Gorbachev, they would have never succeeded in ending the Cold War. If there had been no Gorbachev, the old Cold War would have continued or maybe even worsened. He wanted to make Russia the kind of place where one would have wanted to live. Somebody like me would have wanted to live. Westerners would have wanted to live. So that's the main thing. But the other thing is that he failed. And there are plenty of people, both in his country, especially in his country, but also in the West, who think that he should be blamed for the failure and what has followed. That is the regression of Russia in our time now, our day, back to something like the grim place it was under the communists or before under the czars. I was talking just the other day to a Russian intellectual, a professor, who, like many other educated Russians and not educated Russians, have fled Putin's Russia. And he said something surprising to me. He said, there are a lot of people who are hoping for another perestroika. That's what Gorbachev's reform process was called. The word in Russian, perestroika, means restructuring. And I was surprised to hear that because, as I say, I think generally Russian opinion has turned against Gorbachev. It did even before he left office. And so to have it said that there are quite a few who would like another Gorbachev to make another attempt was news to me, and it was good news. Although I had to immediately correct myself by saying this is probably the feeling of many Russians who have fled Putin's Russia and found a home in the West and are hoping for another attempt to bring Russia into the West. So if that's it, that's how many people is that compared to the entire population of Russia, and compared to the millions who continued to support the war in Ukraine and believe in Putin and probably continue to hate Gorbachev and blame him.